insufficiency and the very thing about you that says, I don't have enough this and I don't have enough that, and it's too late, and I'm too old, and I'm too black, and I'm too white, and I'm too young, I'm too this, I'm too that, I'm too the other, I yell too much, or I'm quiet, I don't have a good preaching voice, or this, or it doesn't matter what you don't have. God will wait till it looks totally impossible, and he says, now I'm going to bless you, and I'm going to do it through you, and I'm going to take your body as good as dead, and I'm going to strengthen you until you stand up in a power that's not even your own, and you'll say, hey ho, what is this that's come over me? This is not me. I've never been able to do this before, and that's why you know that this is the Lord's doing, and it's marvelous in our eyes, because I know in my flesh I would never be able to perform like this. That's why when you get it, you'll say, if it had not been for the Lord that was on my side. Every problem is an opportunity for you to discover creativity. That's why God allowed the problem to come in your life, so that you could stand back and assess the problem and look at the situation and allow something divine to rise up in you and create a solution. It's nothing but an exercise in creativity. That's all the problem is. It's just an exercise in creativity. David, that's why the lion has come down into the shepherd's field, so that you could learn how to take less and do more with it. That's why you got more bills than you got money, because God wants you to be creative enough to take less money and do more with it. He wants to teach you how to dress on a budget. He wants to teach you how to do it with no staff, so that later when you grow and you got a staff and they start threatening you to leave, you say, been there and done that, baby, hit the door. You got to be able to drive the bus in case they leave. You got to be able to direct the choir in case they start acting crazy. You got to be able to motivate your own leadership in case you get a Judas in the camp. You got to work. Oh, y'all don't hear what I'm saying. See, some of y'all think I just showed up when I got on TV, but I spent years on the backside of the desert. I pastored from the piano for years, baby. My first tape ministry was a tape recorder in front of an amplifier. Now we've got enough duplicators to fill up an 18-wheeler, but we started with a $39.99 tape recorder in front of an amplifier, and if you wanted a tape, you had to get it next Sunday, because the deacon took home and put it on his stereo and duplicated one at a time. But I do not despise the day of small beginning. My wife was the praise leader, and I was the minister of music, and then I jumped up and preached. But you know, it feels real good, and I want you to know that whenever I get into a fight with the devil, I don't tell him about how many members I got now. I don't tell him about how many stations I'm on now. I don't tell him how many countries I preached in now. I don't tell him how much staff I got now. I don't tell him anything about my budget now, because my strength ain't coming from this fruity stuff up at the top. I say, I'm the same joker who whipped you down in the storefront, and if you fool with me tonight, I'll flip out on you. Ow! Whoa! I feel something, boy. You better come get me. To pay your dues, baby. But I heard him say, after you suffered a while, I'll establish you and I will make you. You got to be able to do it when you don't have any money. You got to be able to do it when people don't like you. Don't worry about who likes and who don't like you. It's nothing but education. God is teaching you how to stand by yourself. You got to be able to preach after you cried all the way to church. Wipe the tears out of your face and preach the faith and the power of God. You got to be able to preach while somebody's rolling their eyes at you, sending out their spirit against you, hoping you choke on your word. You got to be dancing right in the devil's face and saying, let me tell you, you gonna kill me, huh? You gonna kill, bring us.